Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, joined as I am every Wednesday with the co-host, Derek, the man you can blame for the delay, as I put in the chat. He was on some important phone call that apparently was bigger than the show, so you know how that goes. But we are going to be reviewing AEW Dynamite for you for April 14th, 2021. We're going to review everything that happened in the show, kind of give our thoughts and opinions on some other things that had happened, and we're just going to be talking to you guys about all the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. So make sure you guys stick around and join us for the show.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
Shout out to my man Monteezy for the intro. Always appreciate it, bro. We're going to be talking about everything that was AEW Dynamite tonight. So I'm glad that you guys are in here joining us. Let's get to the chat real quick and give some shout outs to the people who are first in here. First, big shout out to my man, Original Biggie, the first one. OB1. What's good, Original Biggie? Haven't seen you stream in a while, brother. Hope things are well. Tim Knoll in the house as well. What's good, Tim? Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate you, brother. BJ is in the house. He says another awesome Dynamite. We'll talk about that towards the end here because we got some other people feeling different. PR Nightmare throwing up the hands. What's going on, Nelson? Appreciate you, bro. My man Shabazz is also in the chat. Dynamite is hands down better than I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Ace is in the house as well. What's going on, Ace? One of the mods in the chat with Original Biggie. Thank you. Tokyo Rockstar said Dynamite was okay. Nothing special happened.
Okay.
Well, hold on now. We can't just start saying nothing happened. Here's the thing. Every show is not gonna be a home run.
Nope.
And I don't expect it to be either. That's the truth speaking. Like, every show isn't gonna be a home run. And I don't expect it to be. And I think tonight was cool. Sometimes when things happen in business, people kind of, I don't want to say rest on their laurels, but there's no one opposing them now as a wrestling show. So they don't really have to do too much all the time. Right. It's okay to have an okay show. Not mad at it. My problem is when you're not trying at all. And I'll save that for another time on a rant of another show. You know which one I'm talking about. That comes on Mondays. Original Biggie's throwing out some stuff. John L. Jackson joined us in the chat. What is going on, sir? Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Welcome.
B-Boy Skyline Jordan, what is good, bro? He said Evilise, perhaps. Evilise has been released. Yes. Rob also in the chat. What's good? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Here we go with the phrasing. And then we got Jesus De Leon. What's going on, Jesus? Appreciate you saying what's up. We're going to get ready to get into all of this. But first, guys, if you're listening to this on the YouTube show with us, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Also, leave a comment down below if you're listening to this after the fact, or if you're in the live chat and we end it, and then afterwards you want to just say, yo, I watched the video. Appreciate you. Favorite match of the night was this. Write anything down in the comment section. I will get around to it and eventually reply to you. So, like I said, hitting the like button helps out a lot. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, man. It's greatly appreciated. And we got to get into some other things that we have going on. Right now, WrestleMania reviews are up on the channel for night 1, night 2 immediately after. Derek is on night 2 with me as well as Rob. And night 1 I did with Foul. So make sure you guys check out the WrestleMania reviews. And the one with Foul has some freezing in the beginning of it. But like I said, you can still hear all the audio. Just wait and then eventually it'll sync back up. All right? And if you're listening to this on the audio portion, rate the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and show me some love, man. Podcast numbers have been doing very well lately, so please let me know what you guys are liking or want changed about the show. Thanks for advertising something to me during my show. Apologize for that noise. Let's get in the Dynamite, D.
That's boogie.
first, before actually, you know what? No, let's not get into Dynamite right away. Derek, I saw some stuff online that says AEW has not been good since Revolution. How do you feel about that? I wanted to get your kind of thoughts on it. Is AEW lacking to you recently? You haven't really said too much. We've been saying the shows have been okay, but
I see I'm hearing blasphemy. So, I mean, what? It's like you said. You're not going to get a top-notch show every single night. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have good days, you're going to have great days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have okay days. What more do you want? Honestly, I've been happy with it.
Right. But I think some people are just thinking, man, this could be better. Live chat, I want to hear from you guys. Maybe if you don't want to answer now, save it for the end.
Listen, I'm not going to get too far into this, but if we really want to talk about what's good and what's not, we can. We can have a personal conversation. You can leave him out of it. I can tell you what's good and what's not. If you really want me to get into that.
Derek needs to be monitored at all times on Wrestling Podcast, so we won't do that.
Listen, this will be uncut. I will create an own channel for that.
He keeps saying this.
I have a YouTube account, bro. I will do it. If we want to address what's good and what's not, and then you prove to me what's good.
Now, listen, they're not saying it's bad. They're just saying it feels kind of, you know what I mean? And people are starting to question AEW's booking a little bit. I don't know if you, that's what I was asking.
Do we really want to question booking right now?
Bro, I'm saying, I think some of the critiques are valid, though. I think you can really agree with some of it. Like, they said something great was shown on BTE, like the Kenny Omega Young Bucks interview, and they said maybe that should have been shown on Dynamite. It's a fair critique. It was a good interview. Like, I really thought it was better than what they did tonight.
So then can we critique?
No. We're not. I don't want to jump to any other company. Strictly AEW. All right. Is it a fair critique?
No.
We could talk about this subject in person, and Rob can be there as well. Oh, I'm not even getting into it with you guys.
Who said that?
Chat, B-Boy Skyline. So you already know what he's probably talking about. Not now. Save it. Save it.
You have yet to still prove to me on that.
Let's get into this. So the show starts off here tonight with the Young Bucks basically cementing their heel turn. They're promising to show a new version of themselves tonight. How do you feel about the Bucks heel turn thus far, Derek?
It's not bad. I haven't really bought into it yet because I still feel like they're on the fence a little bit. Like they haven't really they committed to being a heel, but not fully.
Oh, they committed. Derek was part of the first match. They've committed. I'll explain. Next, we get MJF trying to bribe Mike Tyson with some money. He offers him a blank check, and Mike Tyson rips it up in his face. I was like, hold on now, Mike. Hold on, player. We may want to just take a quick look at that and just see how much he got in here. What's the max I can put? How many zeros could I put on this? Right. But Mike Tyson rips it up because he's an honorable man, and he's probably got more money than half of them knew what to do with, or seen it at least.
Right.
Opening contest, guys. AEW World Tag Team title match. We have Pac and Fenix using their number one contendership match that they earned at Revolution versus the Young Bucks with Don Callis as their manager. Comes out with them tonight. This felt very weird. The Young Bucks came out in new attire. Nick Jackson rocking like I don't know what you call those brim caps. He came out with that. They're wearing white leather jackets, some very expensive sneakers, and basically the match got started right away. So they're trading moves back and forth. The two teams are going back and forth. On the outside, observing in the stands are many of the other tag teams in the division who are in like the top 5, the Butcher and the Blade, Jurassic Express, SCU. Multiple teams are out there watching this. Cool, I like that. Afterwards, I'm sitting here thinking about this. Isn't it great that no one had to clean up the Young Bucks money this week? They were probably like, thank goodness. I'm glad they turned heel.
Oh, boy. There's a lot of paper to be cleaning up.
Yo, bro, did you know the Young Bucks had on Dior's tonight?
I did not notice that.
$10K. Yeah, he made sure he showed the bottom of it. Nick Jackson was like, look, and put his foot up. So $10,000 sneakers they were wearing tonight. I don't know if that came out of Tony Khan's money or if that EVP money's that good, but Damn.
I mean, is it something that they may have had over time, or?
Listen, bro, they've always had expensive sneakers. I can appreciate it. I can appreciate the Young Bucks doing that tonight.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you rock with Yakuza Kenny, so.
Yep. Can't even say that, bro, on the stream. You don't see. I have a goal to go to a New Japan show. What are you doing, bro?
What?
You were the guy on that review here? No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Let's see here. The podcast is always a good listen to at work. I appreciate that, B-Boy Skyline. Shabazz says it's been lacking, but this is by the high bar that AEW set themselves, head and shoulders above the other products. Still, I'm not mad. Shabazz, that is
no. I'm not debating Shabazz. I'm
no. But I think Shabazz brings up a good point. He's just saying that he feels like they've set a high bar, and now you're expecting them to reach that sometimes. And when they come up short, you're like, I'm a little disappointed.
Okay, I guess we could. Yeah.
Let's see. BJ says AEW's been on fire even when it's not been top tier. Jesus said, I think the shows have been pretty good, but can be better. Some stuff they do go to fix and work on. They gotta fix, I think, is supposed to be and work on. Jesus, let me know what some of that stuff is. I think they do have some situations that should be different on the shows, but we desperately need the second main TV show and then worry about balancing what is required for TV. Chris DeZuba also in the house, showing love to us. Chris, what's happening, brother? Shabazz said the heel turn that has just been drawn out, but far better than just coming out and saying we're evil now. Yeah, I think it's just part of the whole they always have to stick with Kenny. And I think that's always just been an AEW type thing. Like, oh, we gotta stick with Kenny. Gotta rock with Kenny. And they always just stay that way. Not an issue for me. I'm cool with that. The sneaker game on AEW is good. I like that they've been mentioning and talking about the rankings tonight a lot. Okay, Jesus. And that was another question I had posed a few weeks back. Do the ranking systems matter to people? The Young Bucks are back to their old ways, but they just take things to a new level. Agreed. Like this match. Pac hits a brainbuster for a near fall. The Young Bucks hit a double apron powerbomb on their opponents. Matt Jackson is walking around mocking everyone. At one point, I thought he was doing like Ultimate Warrior stuff, Shawn Michaels stuff. He was just mocking. And then eventually he gets caught by Pac and hot tagged the Fenix. Fenix comes in and he just does amazing things. That's all I had to write in here. Bro, at one point, he had one foot after doing a kick, balanced himself to do the hop up, boom, Hurricanrana, drag off the top rope, lucha style shit, bro. It's amazing. This dude is a freak athlete, bro. Pac hits a blue thunder bomb on Nick Jackson for a 2 count. Another great sequence ending in Pac hitting a German suplex for a near fall. We get stereo poison ranas by Nick Jackson and Fenix. Pac hits a brainbuster avalanche. Fenix hits a frog splash. A black arrow is hit off the top rope, which I thought could be the end, but it ends up getting broken up for a 2 count. And then Fenix gets his mask removed for a double super kick for the 1, 2, 3. The Bucks end up winning.
Man, disrespect, bro.
What, for the mask?
Yeah.
It's only a DQ in Mexico promotions. Yeah. What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
I feel bad. Yo, Fenix, I feel like Fenix, Pac, and Penta have always been like the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Right.
They have not been able to come out on top. Hopefully, eventually that changes.
I think it will. Come pay-per-view time.
Yep. Rockstar wrote the Dior's. Yes. Jesus says some of the feuds in general can be better and more Sheeta. She is like the women's champion and need more from her, like promos, matches, and etc. You ain't wrong about that. I think they've done a horrible job in booking Sheeta.
Yeah. And most of the people love Sheeta, so we need to hear more from her.
I feel like they're trying to. I don't know. I don't understand what they're trying to do with some of this stuff here. Hangman in the Dark Order we see backstage, and he is immediately asked about the Elite. But Paige avoids the question because he doesn't want to talk about the Elite. And he starts talking about John's arms getting better. Johnny Hungy. And this dude raises his arm, and they just go full foolish mode. Go, 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 go. He's just screaming his head off. Absolutely hilarious, man. Sonny Bimbo joins us in the chat. What's going on, Sonny? Thank you so much. Missed about half of tonight's AEW. However, the second half of the show was really crazy. Everything pro wrestling. Hashtag Manscaped. Hashtag sponsors. For sure. Shabazz responds, Sheeta needs to drop some of the nicey stuff and just be a little bit more focused, but she definitely needs to promo time. True.
I agree with that. She definitely does need to drop some of the nice gestures and, think about herself more.
Right. And I know we're jumping around with some of this. I asked a question before for anybody who's watching this after the fact about what we should have done different in AEW. People were giving their suggestions. Sheeta got brought up. But let's get back into the main show here. We have the Inner Circle and Mike Tyson backstage. Jericho kind of explains how they got back onto the same footing. He said he called and apologized after he got his ass whooped by the Pinnacle, or the Pineapple, as he calls them. And he said that he apologized to some people. Mike Tyson was one of the people he apologized to. And they seem like they're good, but Tyson says, don't forget, tonight, if you get out of line, I may have to give you this right hand again.
Right.
So I like that they were trying to at least make some sense of the idea that they were once enemies and now they're kind of cool with each other. I think Mike Tyson could have just summed it up. Listen, man, in boxing, it's always one-on-one. When they jumped you 6-on-1, that was some bullshit, and I couldn't let that go down. Right. That's why I came out to help you. And I respect you because you tried to hold your own. Boom. Done.
Just simple.
Simple, easy to maintain. Let's see. Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill here. Red Velvet was ready to stir someone's bitch ass up.
Red Velvet was...
bitch ass.
Red Velvet was very impressive in this match.
I think so too. Red Velvet really stood out. Jade Cargill looks like the star, but I really think that Red Velvet's got something too.
Yeah. Jade Cargill, let me give props to her because this is the first time I actually seen her wrestle. I missed her. I think I missed maybe like 1 or 2 matches for her.
Weren't you here for the Shaq match?
No, I missed that one.
Okay.
Yeah. She's good at what she does. Can she be better? Yes, but anybody can be better than what their last performance was. But I definitely respect her for coming in and doing her thing and trying to fit in with the wrestling world. Because has she wrestled on a different company before?
She tried out for NXT apparently, but nobody's really been able to say like, yeah, I seen her wrestle.
Right. Okay. So an official spot for her on AEW, I am very impressed. And then Red Velvet has been here, a couple months. Very impressed with her. Mike's skills are getting better. Wrestling's getting better. Overall, I thought this was a good match. This was a good match for me.
I thought it was fun for what happens. Now, Red Velvet starts off the match kind of just ready to throw fists. I wrote down she was like a firecracker here. She just went in immediately. That dive to the outside. She's another person who I think maybe it's because of the size, but when she does a dive, it looks vicious. Like she put all of her body into it, and I was like, you know what? You're all right to do this move. That's my main thing with dives. Like, look like you're going to take somebody out with it, like Fenix, Darby. Yeah. I don't want to see like the ones like, no offense, I like Moxley, but he doesn't need to do the dives. Moxley does so many other things that are more impressive that when I see him, I'm just like, it looks like the guy just catches you, and I hate that.
Right. Certain people should do it. Certain people shouldn't.
Perfect way to put it. They have it right here with this. So eventually Jade catches her on the outside, and Jade shows her power. She does a fall-away slam over by the barricade area. Everyone catches Red Velvet afterwards. Red Velvet gets her down. She goes for a standing moonsault, gets a 2 count, and she makes the crucial mistake of going for the same move twice. She tries to set her up for a top rope moonsault. Jade ends up moving out of the way, hits her with a glam slam for the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Jade is on to, I would assume, bigger and better things after this.
Yeah. It's just got to be one of those things where, listen, I have nothing else to prove to you. You're done. You're out of the picture.
Right?
Unfortunate. because I would like to see Red Velvet get a win on her somewhere down the line, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
If you had to move Jade on to another feud, what woman would you put her against next?
Honestly, I think for her, I would start her like, all right, so this was the step. Well, I don't want to say stepping stone, but this was the beginning. I've shown my power. I've shown my ruthlessness. Let me start attacking everybody to cement my spot.
Okay, so you're going with the big, powerful kind of route, like Kane style.
Yeah.
See, I feel like if I had to pick a next person for her to face, I think Thunder Rosa would be really good to get into a program with. I'm not saying you're going to rush her right into a match. I think that you could build it up for a pay-per-view.
Okay.
But I think Thunder Rosa would be a good person to put her in there with. Experience, someone who I would love to see my talent face.
Oh, actually, you know what? I agree with that because Thunder Rosa would be she'd be the wrestler to call her out and be like, oh, you think you're that big and bad, huh? Well, let me show you what bad is.
Right? And I'm looking in the chat here real quick. I see Chris Azuba said, Kenny and Sheeta date. You know who runs the women's division. Peace, bro. I don't know that for sure, to be honest. I know a lot of people are saying that. But he's got the laughing emoji afterwards. Shabazz says that, Jesus, the rankings need to start mattering to the wrestlers first. Last year, Cage and Starks were ranked second and third, yet none of them or Taz even mentioned it. Made the rankings nothing. I thought I remember Cage bringing it up, and he got a title shot, didn't he?
I think he did.
I thought I remembered them bringing it up, but maybe this was after he got the title shot. See, and then Shabazz just put, I thought Rio was with Kenny. Wink faces all the way across. Listen, I don't know who day two. I never speculate on that. I have no clue. To me, it doesn't matter. We got the women's division has improved. I'm happy with it. Let's keep it going. Keep it improving. Jesus said this was a good match. Somebody mentioned that they wouldn't mind seeing Jade beat Sheeta for the title. And Shabazz has disagreed. Way too early for a Jade title run. Would be cut short by Baker anyway. Good match from Ace. Have her feud with Big Swole or Tay Conti, Jesus says. That wouldn't be bad.
Actually, you know what? Big Swole would be. Actually, you know what? I would rather see that next because Big Swole's got the, I'm the toughest, I'm the strongest here.
Swole mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. So.
Yeah.
That would actually be a nice little feud between those two.
Right, like who runs this division.
Right.
That would be good. And then I think even one with Tay Conti would be good. That was a good bring up by Jesus there. He said Raj Giri reported a couple weeks ago. Chris, Raj Giri also apologized immediately after for that. I don't know if he apologized for saying it or if he apologized for not knowing, but nonetheless, I don't know that. I don't speculate on who's dating who. It doesn't matter to me. Because if your shit's good, your shit's good. And if it's bad and it stinks, I'm going to say it stinks. Right. That's just, you got to call it how you see it.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
This guy.
Just saying.
Let's go backstage here to Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel, or Reba as she calls her. They're backstage with Tony Schiavone. I'm mad my notes say Schiavone because I definitely did talk text on this. The AEW women's rankings are brought up. And she brings up how Jade just lost, or excuse me, not Jade, Red Velvet just lost to Jade Cargill, and she should be moving up the division now because she was ranked at number 3. With her loss, she has 2 more wins than her. She said, I should be at number 2. And she's like, I'm going to continue climbing the women's division, and you're going to see it on AEW Dark Elevation this Monday. So she's going to apparently have another match on that show. Cool, simple, easy, to the point. She's trying to climb the division.
Right. And I like the attention that they brought to the rankings. And it was actually, like, if you look at it, it was like power rankings. And I appreciate that they're finally starting to touch base with that. So for the casual fans like myself or anybody else who, looking for something to understand how the ranking system goes, it was a nice way to explain how it works.
Right. Aunt Peggy has joined us in the chat.
Aunt Peggy.
What's good, Aunt Peggy? She said favorite match tonight was Jericho versus Dax Harwood. Okay. All right. We'll talk about that. That match is next, but don't worry, this one didn't last too long. It is the debut of Anthony Ogogo, and apparently QT's group is called The Factory. Because they were the Nightmare family. So The Factory, QT's guys that he has put together. He's taking on some gentleman named Cole Carter.
Cole Carter?
Don't worry, Derek. It's all going to make sense.
Okay.
Ogogo is a former Olympic boxer. I believe he's a bronze medalist. Someone tell me if I'm wrong about that in the chat.
I believe he is.
We are finally getting to see what he's been doing after a year of wrestling training. He was announced to sign, I think, right at the beginning of AEW. So pretty cool to see this. This match is stopped immediately after one punch to the stomach from Ogogo to Cole Carter. He just went down like a ton of bricks, dropped, shit his pants probably, and he was done.
Killed him ribs.
Yeah. GG. He went down, and the match was called off. Dominant victory here, though, for him.
Very dominant.
That was it.
Very, very dominant.
Uh-oh, she said hello from New York. We are also in New York, Aunt Peggy. I appreciate it. Tokyo Rockstar said Dr. Britt Baker needs to check up on her beat-up boyfriend. Peace. Shabazz said, my girl Diamante is ranked 6. She'll get up there eventually. She's on her own now.
Yeah.
Lost her tag partner, unfortunately. Evilise was, I believe, released today at some point. I don't want to speculate. I don't even really want to get into it because I have my own thoughts. But it's kind of we don't know what the truth is in any of this. So kind of wait to hear what happens after that. Let's get to the backstage segment before we get into what was Aunt Peggy's favorite match. We get a backstage segment with Miro. Miro says he hasn't spoken to Kip Sabian since the Arcade Anarchy match. Conspicuous. Miro then makes the threat that he's coming after anybody with an AEW championship belt. And they show Kenny Omega, Darby Allin, and the Young Bucks. Miro ain't playing, bro. I'm telling you, someone's about to get their head kicked off.
Yep.
And I have a feeling he's going after Darby.
I think so too. I think that would be a good match.
I think so too.
If by the time that he gets to Darby, because it keeps putting out these challenges, and
I think he's gonna be fine. I just wonder what happens to Kip, because I feel, dude, this ass whooping for Kip has to be coming. Because he didn't want that match. He said, no, I'm done with them. And then Kip was like, no, they ruined my wedding,
Right.
And he tried to play it off like, we're friends, do it for me. And look what you did. You done caused a problem. Miro's coming to whoop that ass, just so you know. We then go to match number 4 on the card. Chris Jericho with Sammy Guevara in his corner.
Spanish God.
You were on point for that. Versus Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. And I guess Tully was out there, even though I thought I thought only one person was allowed to be out there.
That's what I thought too.
Get your shit straight, AEW, when you make an announcement.
Exactly, yeah. When it's only supposed to be one person, let it be one person and make sure it stays that way.
Right? So this match ends up starting off here. There's a brawl on the outside. We see Dax Harwood use a microphone on Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho uses a pen on him. I don't know why we're stabbing each other with weapons and using all types of weapons on the outside. And right before the commercial break, my favorite part was Dax getting it. Actually, this is not my favorite part. There's the part at the end that's my favorite part now. Dax Harwood and Tyson get into each other's faces here. Long story short, this was a match back and forth, a lot of brawling in the crowd. It was a brawling style match. Jericho has evolved his style since he's gotten older, and it's cool. I love it that he's just becoming more of a brawler. Like, we're just going to trade hands and scrap. And both sides attempt to get some interference going. Inner Circle's got their people. The Pinnacle has their people out there. It's a mess. I cannot wait for Cinco de Mayo when we have this match on May 5th on Dynamite.
That's going to... Anticipation for that is through the roof. I think that's really going to be either a real great match or...
I'm hoping it's a real great show.
Well, yeah, in all aspects, yes. But I think this may just be my match of the night.
This should be tremendous. So they're all battling each other. They're fighting. And eventually, Cash Wheeler tries to get involved. Mike Tyson, when I say this, and I was watching this with my brother-in-law, and all he heard was, "Yo, what was that?" Mike Tyson cracks Cash Wheeler right in the face, and he falls down with the stiff arm fight night style still up in the air. Bro, favorite part of the match. I absolutely loved it, man. Just damn good. Sonny, thank you for joining us, my friend. Absolutely tremendous.
Very.
Really good stuff here. Chris Jericho eventually hits the Judas effect for the victory here. Jericho announces that Mike Tyson is like an honorary member of the Inner Circle. I thought that was really dope. I wish Tyson had like a boxing match coming up and he could come out with Jericho's theme.
That would be
marketing. I know. I heard he was gonna do a boxing event soon, so we'll see. I think he's got some time. He's probably gonna train for it. Dude's a beast. That ends that segment though. Don Callis and the Elite are outside of the arena doing an interview, and they're all talking their smack. And the Young Bucks are just like, "Yeah, we're the greatest tag team in the world. Kenny Omega's the best main eventer. Anderson and Gallows are just there." I don't know what they're doing.
Listen, I am surprised that they didn't say anything to that.
Yeah, that's weird, right? But they got the titles right now, and they don't. So I think their focus is going to be, let's get back to tag titles and Impact, because that's where we work, technically.
Right.
And the cameraman looks like he's about to get super kicked by the Bucks, and they go, no. And then they tell Don Callis to do the super kick. People hate Don Callis. He is such a great... Don Callis might be my favorite heel manager right now. I'm not even joking about that.
So, if he was a real-life villain, who would you put him as?
Oh my gosh. Hold on, I gotta think here, bro. Because I was comparing him to like Bobby the Brain Heenan with Nick Bockwinkel in like the AWA. Just you dick.
Right.
Like he's great at his job. Super villain, you know what? I'm gonna say Lex Luthor. I'm gonna say that evil, bro. That man is evil.
Okay.
He got the Young Bucks to turn. He slapped them, and they believed him. They were like, "Yeah, Don was right. We gotta knock some sense into ourselves here."
Okay, I can see that.
Weird.
Yeah, you know what? That may be the only one. Maybe the only one. Or you could say he's like a mild mannered, older version of the Joker. Or no, not the Joker. I meant to say the Riddler.
Okay, I can see Don Callis playing the Riddler. I can see that happen. Shabazz said Dr. Doom. I was thinking that. Ooh. I thought that's who you were going to say, actually.
Dr. Doom. Okay.
I like it.
That's a good one, Shabazz. I didn't think about that one.
Shabazz knows the superheroes. All right. Or villains, excuse me. All right. I respect it, bro. I respect it. Yeah, that super kick just was cringe. It pissed me off. It pissed him off more than me.
Oh, my God. Horrible.
Now, from Derek, this report comes. Thunder Rosa cuts a brief promo basically stating she's trying to take over the women's divisions in both AEW and NWA, and she wants both titles.
Yes. I'm all for it. I love Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa has grown on me tremendously. I
think Thunder Rosa's probably been one of the best female wrestlers in AEW recently.
She is the best non-AEW wrestler because she doesn't really have a contract with them.
No, she's just a favor. She's just helping out.
Right. So for her to be, what do they call it?
What, on loan, helping?
Something like that. There's a specific word that I'm thinking I can't think of it, but with her being there and she doesn't have a contract and she just coming in to do the service and putting in that work, Thunder Rosa is a beast. I feel
like the whole AEW crew loves her though. She's done a great job so far and delivered in all of her matches.
Right. I hopefully I hope she does sign with them because I think that would just really help. That would help a lot.
Right. Serena Deeb, Shabazz, if I'm not mistaken, I thought she got injured.
I think she did.
I think she's hurt right now, but they're just kind of waiting because I think she was hurt before NWA came back, so I think she should be back soon. I'm hoping. Knock on wood. That was me. Knock on wood. Hopefully that's correct. And I did knock on my desk for anybody listening in the podcast world.
Yes, that was not the intern.
Let's see here. Ace said the Young Bucks put the tag team division on notice as well. They definitely did, Ace.
They absolutely did.
They don't too sweet anymore. They hug because they're family.
All right, let's hug it. Let's hug it.
Let's get into Chris Statlander versus Amber Nova. Derek, I wanted to ask you this during the show.
Let's go.
Orange Cassidy's theme for Chris Statlander. Were you feeling it a little bit more tonight? It's growing on me, bro. I'm telling you. Did you notice it? You see, you were feeling it a little bit, right?
Yeah,
she went around, touched the noses.
Yeah. It actually. I think I had to have a visual. And I mean, yeah. Granted, he's been coming out with it, but I haven't really had like a real good visual of it because they would pan to him, pan somewhere else, pan to him again, and then pan away again. So with all of them coming out with Chris Statlander, like Chris Statlander kind of, I think what made me feel it more was Chris Statlander coming out to it because I was like, wait a minute, what happened to her music? Why is she coming out to theirs? Like, did she join the faction? Like,
she did.
So I'm like, okay, all right. So that brought me into it, and then watching Trent, Chuck, and Orange come out at one time, I'm like, okay, now I could really see it.
I like that she gave him all the boop too on the noses.
Yes.
Foolishness.
I'm glad she brought that back.
Me too. Amber Nova now comes out, and I thought Amber did a good job in this match as well. But this match was all about getting Chris Statlander over and getting her reacquainted with the audience here.
Right.
She ends up hitting her tombstone for the win. The same tombstone like spike she would use, where she hooks your legs. Statlander gets the win here. 1, 2, 3.
Served its purpose.
That's all they had to do. Yo, the chat is going in. Tokyo Rockstar said the boring Young Bucks putting sleeping faces, and Original Biggie said the Bucks have suck. Come on now.
Let's be kind. Let's be kind.
You know it's a miracle if he's saying that.
Listen, I'm not kind at all.
We know. We know from him. Let's see here. Deeb can carry Greens through a match better than anyone in AEW, I believe. And the partnership with the Best Bunch is to keep her out of the women's title picture. Okay. We'll see. I like the relationship with NWA, though. I think it's been a win. I would love to see some of the ladies from Impact Wrestling come over. I think Impact Wrestling has a really good women's division. Like them and NXT, I think you can argue for either one who has the best women's division. I'm starting to think NXT's got them by a little bit now, but Impact's women's division is still phenomenal.
Can't attest to it. So.
Somebody make this man watch Impact.
I did.
When? 05?
Nah, I watched it when we had that discussion on YouTube about it.
Oh yeah, that was the one time. You gotta come back to it.
Then we had the pay-per-view too.
You gotta watch it weekly, Derek. Before I move on here, it looks like Shabazz has something about Statlander. I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna run through these other things. Shabazz, make sure you post your point, and I'll make sure to read it out for you. Team Taz are in the backstage segment. Ricky Starks and Brian Cage get into it, and Team Taz, well, Taz specifically, asks them both to stay in the back tonight as they try to recruit Christian Cage.
Ricky. Spanish.
Shout out to Jocelyn. Tony Schiavone then interviews Christian Cage. Christian seems kind of happy to be there, to finally be interviewed by Tony Schiavone. And Taz comes out to interrupt, and Taz is kind of offended. You didn't call me back. You didn't say anything. I made an offer to you.
Right.
And Christian said, you know what? I'm glad you're standing on that third step because I wanted to say this to your face. And Taz gets really pissed at that. He says no, basically. He's not joining the group. Taz then calls Christian a shitbag on live television. Derek's face was priceless. Yo, what?
Listen, Taz gets away with a lot. So does Chris Jericho. Like, they get away with a lot. But shitbag? That was classic. I was not expecting that.
Taz definitely called him a shitbag. Following that, Christian declines to join the team, And here comes Hobbs and Hook. Hook distracts Christian. Hobbs puts down the beat down. And Hobbs beat Christian's ass here. I ain't going to front.
He did.
Christian made him look like $1 million. And in the end, I love the visual of Hobbs standing on top of the rampway, looking down on Christian who's on the floor.
Make him have a bigger, taller stature. And then that's what every company should do with their big men who are like that. Make them look bigger than, what they are now.
Right. Rockstar seems to be in agreement with you. I will not repeat that phrase on this show. There'll be no slander of Impact Wrestling by me.
Just saying, bro.
That's what Rockstar's saying too, apparently.
Just saying.
Next week's card, though, for AEW Dynamite. Here's what you guys have to look forward to for next week. They have the AEW Women's Title, Hikaru Shida versus Tay Conti. Should be a fun matchup here. We'll see what Tay Conti can do. Or excuse me, Ty Conti. I don't know why I keep saying Tay. It reads like Tay, but it's Ty.
Well, a couple people on AEW said Tay too, so I think Thunder Rosa was one of the first who said it that way.
It's just a mix.
It is.
-1 said it's Ty. So he must have asked.
Yeah, I believe it's Ty. Like even before -1 said that, I believed it was Ty.
Okay. Let's see here. Powerhouse Hobbs will be taking on Christian Cage after that beatdown, so they're going to have a match. Ricky Starks also has a match against Hangman Adam Page.
Ricky.
Dude, I just said it for
Spanish.
Versus Hangman Adam Page. And Trent, with a question mark, versus Pentagon next week. I think Trent's going to have Orange Cassidy in his corner. So this should be fun. I think this is Trent's first official match back, too, since his injury. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this one, man. I want to see what Pentagon does. And I'm looking forward to this Dark Triangle Best Friends feud getting started back up.
Yeah, please.
Because that was a really good feud. Like, you were interested in that one, and then all of a sudden just went poof, it had to disappear for a while.
I think that'll be... great feud between those two, because... I don't know. It just seems like they have that chemistry with each other.
I like it.
And I feel like Phoenix and Orange would steal the show.
Oh, you saying like in a one-on-one match?
Even if it was one-on-one or a tag team match, I really...
6-man tag?
No.
Yo, you're going to regret it. That's going to be a good 6-man tag.
Well,
bro.
no. Okay, let me take that back. I will watch this 6-man tag and focus on that.
Boo. Turning.
The rest of them, no.
Original Biggie said, throwing them soup bones, Cole. Shout out to the Tazisms from 03 from Original Biggie. Shabazz said, I meant the partnership with the Best Bunch was to keep Statlander out of the women's title picture as she looked like she was on the fast track. Good point. Okay. So he's saying that maybe they put her with them to kind of, slower roll. I think it'll make her more popular, too. I think she wasn't hitting on all the popular trends like they wanted her to right away.
Right. Well, because
didn't she have that double book show? I'm going back way too far now, but she double booked herself. And ever since then, I felt like her popularity kind of, it went down a little bit.
Yeah. I think being with the Best Friends will definitely get her back to where she needs to be, but it has to be a slow burn, obviously, because she had the injury. But after that, let it just build up, because she was.
I think her and Britt Baker would be a fun feud. I'm just, in my mind. I think of that.
I agree, but I have to say let that build up.
Yeah, you gotta let it simmer a little bit.
Yeah, let that one simmer, and then do we bring in? Do we go Nyla Rose first, or do we go Britt Baker first?
I think you got to let Statlander run through some people. Give it time. Like I said, some of these things I'm armchair booking right now. Let's give it some time and see what happens with it. But she's got some good matchups, like you said. They do the slow burn.
Right.
Main event time, guys. TNT Championship match. We have rich ass Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, if you're wondering where is the Hardy front office, Darby asked him to make them stay in the back. Prove that you're a better wrestler than me. Right. And he said that normally I would want to come out here and tell my opponent I don't like them. But he said, you know what, Matt? I do like you. And I just think you forgot who you were. Yep. Bringing up that him and his brother influenced him in how he wrestles today.
Right.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
It was. Nice little ode to both of the Hardy boys.
Matt Hardy comes into the ring immediately, beating down. I just messed up because of you doing that. Beating the hell out of Darby Allin with the chair. He puts a beat down on him. And then Matt Hardy goes for a twist of fate inside of the chair with Darby's head wrapped inside of the chair. And he blocks it. And Darby actually uses the chair wrapped around his neck as a weapon. Unique offense from Darby Allin. This guy is so unique, and I see why fans love him. Love that he did that. Hardy front office comes out, though, and they begin jumping Darby. So Matt Hardy's a liar. Why? Because he's a heel. And the Dark Order then come out to help Darby Allin. So there's some kind of respect there between these two groups. And here comes, it's Sting!
Dad.
He always says it's Darby's dad. Sting comes out and he starts beating the shit out of Private Party. Sting is doing his thing throughout all of this. We were almost 1 week. We're gonna get it where Sting doesn't show up, right?
Yes, but at least there was no interview this time, so we broke that.
Right,
we broke that part of it.
Yeah.
Where they were, oh well, we got an interview with Sting,
bro.
No, let's stop.
I hate those interview segments because someone always gets interrupted. Even Christian got interrupted tonight.
Right.
Surprise! Like it's always like that.
Right.
Too formulaic for me. So they come out. They're fighting. And at one point, I don't know if we went to a commercial break, but we see Lance Archer like basically holding off Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
See, that's the thing. I don't think we hit a commercial break or anything.
Well, I think there was one. There was one in that match, but I don't remember when Archer came out. But I was also eating at this time because
I don't remember seeing him come out. All I saw, he was standing there, and that was that.
Right. I think it was after. I think a break happened. Maybe I'm wrong though. But Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page just take a powder. They're like, nah, we're okay. You're good.
Right.
And Sting sees it, and then him and Archer look like they're going to square up, but then Archer starts to help him. Weird.
And I think it's the respect thing.
Weird. I wonder where they're going with this, though. This has a lot of potential. I thought it was going to lead to an Archer-Sting match, but I don't know. I'm so confused by all of this now. Matt Hardy hits a low blow and a twist of fate with Darby Allin's head in the chair for a 2 count. Matt Hardy throws Darby Allin into the go position and sets up a ladder and a table. And at this point, I'm like, oh shit, Matt's going to definitely get put through this and it's going to be over.
Right.
Wrong. Matt Hardy sets up a ladder and does the Hardy Boy leg drop. Oh! Drops the leg drop right through the table for another 2 count. They've got Darby kicking out of a lot of shit here.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Matt Hardy drops the leg drop through the table, and Darby then low blows Matt with a kick between the legs and grabs Sting's baseball bat that was left behind. He grabs the baseball bat and starts using it on Matt Hardy, beats the hell out of him like a dad angered.
See?
And
See? That's dad at work.
What did I teach you? So he sets him up onto the announcer's table. This is the first time we've seen somebody clear out the announcer's table. Like Darby, number one, angry kid. This dude's hitting monitors with baseball bats. Knock it off, good sir. Just taking them out, smacking them.
It's a lot of money.
Lots of money. So he knocks down all of the monitors. They're out. They're down and out. And he sets Matt Hardy up on the table. But where's he going to go? JR's like, well, what the hell? Where did he go? Darby is climbing like is it a trestle? Would that be the proper term? I don't know. But
I think so.
One of those like lighting rigs on the side. And he's climbing up and he gets up there. And I'm like, dude, that's a little bit of a way.
That is.
Darby glides all the way through. Coffin drop.
Put him in the coffin.
1, 2, 3. Darby Allin retains the TNT Championship. I thought this was a fun main event to end the night.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was great. Honestly, to me it was because you know what it was looking back. It was looking at Matt and looking at him back in time, and I felt like Matt didn't really miss a step in this match.
No. Matt Hardy did fine in this. Matt Hardy proved he could still go, and I love it. I love to see Matt Hardy in a position to succeed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was a dub in my book.
But if he gets a title shot, it has to be a long title shot.
What do you mean a long time? You talk about the matchup?
No. I'm talking about title reign. Title reign.
Matt Hardy?
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if I can see him getting one. Maybe if Jeff comes in, I can see them as tag champs, but maybe.
Okay. All right.
I don't know though. I don't know if they're gonna want to end their careers together separately. Depends on what they want to do. And rest in peace to Matt Hardy's father too, who passed away. I saw that's why Jeff was not in any of the battle royals and stuff this week. So rest in peace to their father for that.
Right.
With that being said, though, Derek, tonight's AEW show. Same question for anyone in the chat. What did you think of it? Good show tonight. Thumbs up, thumbs down, out of 10.
Still a good show. I would say I give a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 7. 7 out of 10 for tonight. Going with the typical Jesus out of 10 answer. But Derek, we got a lot of stuff coming up here. But before we get into some of that, the AEW thing that I brought up, going back now, let's just say even a couple months ago, a year ago at this point, is AEW still clicking for you now that we've talked about this a little bit? Is it still a thing? Because it got brought up a couple times this week, and I'm like, man, some people sound like they're down on AEW. And I just wanted to get everyone's opinion on it that I could hear.
Okay. So I'm going to say that I am not down on AEW. I am a little underwhelmed now, just because they did set that bar pretty high, and now it's hard to reach it. And not to say that it's not doable, it is very, very doable, but it's kind of died down a little bit to me.
Okay. And that's part of the lulls of doing a television show too.
Right.
Sometimes the show just, it's going to be all right this week.
Yep.
Jesus said, great show, better than the last couple of Dynamites to him still.
Okay.
And I thought we said that last week too. Do you get what I'm saying? Sometimes the shows are just running together when they're in these it was a 6.5, between a 6.5 and a 7.5. They're all just starting to run together a little bit.
Right, yeah. Nothing standing out too much.
Right, and I'm curious to see what happens with the whole, they're unopposed tonight. Does the audience grow a little bit? A little interest is there just to see what happens.
I think they do, just a touch.
And I'm not Mr. Ratings. I usually don't give a damn. I don't like comparing them to each other because I'm like, who gives a shit? Right. Wrestling's on. Whoever's the better product, I'm going to watch. But
exactly.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. And like I said, I don't blame anyone if you like Dynamite, if you're kind of like, I'm a little down on it right now.
Right.
I'm good with it. Original Biggie, definitely pinned your comment, brother, so I appreciate you saying the RIP for the Hardy Boys' father. Jesus said, great show, better than the last couple of Dynamites. I can agree with that. I respect that. What else do we have coming up this week? Tomorrow, if you are looking forward to the AEW video game, they have some type of announcement. In the teaser for it, it looked like we're going to get some more stuff on the GM mode with Aubrey. And we're going to have something from Kenny Omega. And I don't know if it's good or bad. They kind of made you wonder in the trailer a little bit, is he going to say something good or bad about this game? We'll see. I'm looking forward to the game.
So am I.
Got lots of wrestling content coming up. Things to talk about. I think I have an idea for a video, Derek, but okay. I don't know when we'll have time to present this or if it'll be just me and you, me and Rob, whoever. But I've got a pretty good idea for a video that we could do that'll drop at another time. But like I said, guys, keep it locked in with everything pro wrestling. The link tree down below. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, come on in. We need more people talking about the shows in the live Facebook group. Yeah. Would love to have you guys. If you haven't liked our official page on Facebook, please do that as well. And if you come and listen to the YouTube show, subscribe to the podcast. You never know when I may upload a retro episode that you guys won't have from the Brainbuster Radio days or anything else like that. So, when that Witch Will Not Die meets the unkillable 0-6 Mafia, peace. Peace. So many people are here just talking their mess, but I love it, man. Every single Wednesday, I enjoy talking to you guys about some AEW Dynamite or whatever is happening in the world of pro wrestling. For myself and Derek, this will be the end of the show. Thank you guys. Join us next week as we talk about AEW Dynamite on the 21st. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Let me know what you think of the pro wrestling world in the live chat. B-Boy Skyline tried to get that Praise the Queen in here.
Absolutely not.
The war between B-Boy Skyline and Derek continues. We will see you guys next week for another